This is my brain in 2004. That year I had 3 surgeries to remove a brain tumor. And after the 3rd surgery, I was lying in the ICU, and I had the whole right side of my face was swollen with spinal fluid. And next to my incision was hooked up this cylinder that was lying on the pillow next to me. And I asked the nurse, "What's this for, by the way? What's the cylinder for?" And she said, "To drain excess fluid." And I mean, like, all of this, I said, because after 3 surgeries, that cylinder had been empty. And my face had been so swollen you couldn't recognize me. Every time I needed a spinal tap to remove that fluid. And yet, when she said what that cylinder was for, that it was for a drain, I realized, wait a minute, maybe this is me. Maybe I'm the one standing in the way because I never believed it was useful. So that day, for the first time, within 4 hours of our conversation, it worked. It worked for the first time. The drain filled. The swelling went down, no spinal tap, and I realized that I had the power to affect major change in my life, physical change and other change, based on what I was thinking about it. Not that I willed it to happen, but I believed that it was possible. What a simple concept. And you each have that power. You have the power to affect change in your life based on how you're thinking about it. So right now you're going through some kind of change in your life or in your organization. What's standing in your way from allowing it to happen? What's standing in your way? I know that regardless of that answer, more is possible than you can even imagine. Lying in that hospital bed, I just wanted to get out. I wanted to be home in my jammies. And I was thinking pretty small at that time. And it's very likely that you're thinking small too. You're thinking of the incremental changes that could happen. You know, who knew this little cylinder, this little drain, would allow an introvert like me to be here talking to you today as a motivational speaker? I mean, way bigger than I had imagined. And the same is possible for you too, if you trust that it is and if you're open to it. So the next thing I learned was to focus on what you want as opposed to how it's going to happen. Now, I don't know about you, but most people I know have this list of things that we expect to happen in our lives, like married by 30, 2 kids in the Audi by 35, you know, that kind of list. And if you haven't already realized, you may get some of the things that you want, but how they come about is a total mystery. It's totally surprising how that happens. And the same was true for me in that hospital bed. I knew what I wanted more than anything was to be healthy. Who knew that that drain would play such a pivotal role? Be open to the how that shows up in front of you. The third thing I learned was to openly ask for and accept help. The thing about help is that it tends to arrive from unlikely places. And just like that, the day I was in the hospital, that nurse arrived at the moment I was ready to hear what she had to say. 2 previous surgeries, I wasn't ready because that drain wasn't working and I didn't think it had any purpose. But that day I was ready. And you might be ready today too. You may hear something from the person sitting next to you, me, one of the other speakers, that you are ready to hear today. Be open to that. Be open to what you hear. So it's likely that many of us in this room are on the cusp of change right now, maybe in our personal lives, our career, within your organization. What's standing in your way from allowing that to be the biggest and best change it can be? I know, regardless of that answer, that more is possible than you can imagine, to focus on what you want instead of how it's supposed to happen, and to openly ask for and accept help from wherever it arrives. As I said, everyone in this room, or most of us in this room, are going through some kind of change. What if we could support one another? What if we could believe in each other? What if we could just simply listen to what each of us has to say? What could happen then? I'm a life coach. I work with clients on finding the opportunities, seeing the opportunities that are arising in their lives, and taking advantage of them. I want you each to consider that I'm part of your team, because I truly believe that we're in this together. Thank you.